Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. Today, Kent Adams sits down with Scotty Nicol, who's running for the Washington State House of Representatives. In addition to this, our new host, Megan, sits down with Kate Hudson from Visit Spokane to talk about upcoming events here in the local area. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to Spokane Talks, and I'm going to have a fun time this morning because a friend of mine is here, Scotty. Not the beam me up Scotty, that you might see from Star Trek or something, but probably just as good. He's decided at a young age to get involved in a number of things. He's a musician, has recorded and all of that, and now he's going to jump into politics. We'll talk with this Scotty after this message.
Are you looking for something generational, timeless, with historical truth? Then We the People Interactive Calendar is right for you, designed for the generations. With over hundreds of historical dates and funny cartoons, We the People Calendar makes the perfect conversation starter about America's history, what the founders intended, and why it's important today. Our mission is to expand conversations as we all learn together in our pursuit of truths. Let us add to the legacy of our ancestors. To get started, scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen and begin your conversation today.
Welcome back, Scotty Nicol.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and it's good to see you.
You too.
Now you're not very old.
No, I'm 29.
20, I was gonna guess 30. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember being that age, Scott. All my kids are older than you. Okay. I've almost got grandkids that are as old as
Wow.
you. Yeah. Well, you didn't have to say that. Wow. Like you really are old. No, you've been a musician since you've been a little kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can remember at a very young age identifying with music and singing, and I started playing guitar when I was 12 years old and took piano lessons throughout high school, and I've written songs. I'm a singer-songwriter. I have an album of original music. Yeah, love music. It's just part of who I am. I'm always gonna make it. I'm always gonna share it.
Yeah. Does that come from family or anything, or just your own interest in exploring?
Well, I would say that there's a lot of music lovers in my family.
Okay.
And I it's just something that's so intrinsic to who I am. I mean, it's just always been a part of me.
Yeah.
And I've always had that desire to express through music, and I absolutely love it. So
I'm jealous. Okay, because I can't hum, sing, or anything, or even whistle.
but you can enjoy.
I can enjoy it. Yes. I get very jealous seeing people with the ability and the vocal cords and everything else that go with
Well,
it.
it's so interesting, when you share something that's just part of you, and to see people align with it, to see people enjoy it.
Yes.
That's a really special thing.
Yeah.
It's very gratifying.
Can you see when you're doing things off in the audience and enough to get the feedback?
Yes. Yes.
Read their faces.
Yes,
even.
absolutely. Yeah.
Do they want to sing along sometimes?
Sometimes they do.
Oh,
and I love
okay.
that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So tell me about your history. You're born and raised in this area?
I was born and raised in Washington. I was born on the west side, actually at Fort Lewis. My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
When he had retired out of the Air Force, and we moved here when I was 2 years old.
Oh,
Moved to
okay.
Spokane. So I grew up in Spokane. This is my hometown.
Yeah.
I think it's such a special place. It's such a beautiful place, and I absolutely love it here.
Yeah. Some bad things are happening, though, in our state. And a lot of that is attributed to some of the things going on in Olympia and some lousy decisions. And I think a lot of it really started a couple of years ago with the Black Lives Matter time period. It wasn't just Black Lives Matter, but this whole mentality of we owe so much to the criminals and so forth, and we can't chase them, we can't do this. And yet, just this last weekend, on Bloomsday, an officer was shot, by a repeat offender with, I don't know, a rap sheet longer than probably your music list, and the judge put him on both of them on $1 million bond, finally. But you know what? Maybe if one of the times that they were picked up, they stayed in jail or got more help in jail or a controlled situation, the officer wouldn't have been shot on Sunday. And so how do we change that?
First of all, I am so thankful that that officer is alive. I was assistant to the mayor and city administrator for 2 years, and so during that time I worked with our police department regularly. I respect our officers so much. I know that our police department does a fantastic job. They try their very hardest to keep us as safe as possible. They are engaged with our community. They're very forward thinking. I just have so much good to say about our police department and their professionalism, their commitment to safety in our city. And so first, I just want to say that I'm so grateful that that officer is alive and was released from the hospital. I would say too, what I'm hearing, because I'm doorbelling a lot. Last week I did about 400 houses.
Oh, wow.
And what I continue to hear is a desire for common sense safety. So I'll also say that when I was in the mayor's office, there was a number of sweeping police reform measures that went into effect. Those were supported and passed by the state legislature. And unfortunately, they are failed policies. And in fact, they were so failed that they had to go back and undo some of them
Partially.
at the next session. That's correct. But that just goes to show, you wrote bad law when
it wasn't that they weren't told it was going to be bad law.
That's correct. They were warned about the ramifications, and so what I want to do in this role is partner with law enforcement. As a state lawmaker, it's so important to have that working relationship. I established that working relationship with our police department when I was in the mayor's office. I am very familiar with working with law enforcement. I respect them. I want their input. They are the subject matter experts. And so when you're going to enact policy that directly affects law enforcement and the safety of residents in our city and in our state, you need input from law enforcement. I mean, that's just common sense. And so I will be somebody who seeks that out. And we need to have safety in our city and in our state. That is the top priority. We must have that. That's what the residents want. It's what they expect. And our police department and our law enforcement throughout our state is ready to deliver that safety to us, but they need the tools that's going to help them, and not just help them keep us safe, but help themselves keep the officers safe as
Yes,
well.
yes. Or we won't have any more officers because it's a very dangerous profession.
Well, that's why you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
across the nation,
Yes.
police departments are offering hiring bonuses.
Yes.
Because it is a profession that less and less people are wanting to go into. And, again, I just respect people so much who are willing to go into that line of work. It's such an honorable line of work. And from my experiences and speaking with a lot of officers, what they want to do is they want to have a positive impact, just like what I want to do. And that's why I'm running for this position. So
Yeah, we haven't talked about what you're running for. Let's talk about
Well,
that.
that's right. So
Yes.
yeah, state representative, 3rd district, which is most of the city of Spokane. And I would certainly be honored to be. I'm applying for a job. That's the way I
Okay,
look at
okay,
it.
yeah.
And when I doorbell,
Good.
it's like a little mini job interview. But the interactions that I'm having with residents are fantastic. I certainly think that when you go out, and some people say, "Oh, do you enjoy, going up to people?" I have to say, more people answer the door than you would expect.
Really?
And there's a lot of chatty folks out there,
Yeah.
which I love because I love having
Well, we
great
spent 2
conversations.
years being isolated too. I think that probably
Right.
helps set it up.
But
a little.
I'm inspired by people's curiosity.
Yeah.
About what I want to do, what they think might be helpful in terms of policies that should be getting enacted. So obviously safety is number one, and then other things that are we talk about a lot, and when I'm on the door, is I want to create an environment that makes people's lives easier, however I can do that in this role. And so, it's interesting, we had a $15 billion surplus in our budget.
Yes.
We don't have a rainy day fund. That money was already spent. And yet, we have 2 more gas tax increases that are going to be going into effect. From my conversations with people across the city, they don't approve of that. It doesn't make sense to them. It doesn't make sense to me. And that's not good customer service. And I will say, too, I think that as a state representative, you're in the line of customer service. And
Yes.
so the first thing I would ask, if we had that kind of a surplus, is what can we do to give back to residents? That's what we should be doing.
Well,
But and that should come in the form of some kind of tax relief, because people got their assessments as well. The property taxes are going up, the gas taxes are going up, and yet crime is going up. And so I think we need to take a look at, we need to have somebody in this role who is looking at it through a customer service lens. I want to make people safer. I want people to be happy. So I want their life to be as easy and enjoyable as possible. The reason I'm doing this is because I know that as a policymaker in our state, there are ways that you can contribute to that vision.
Yeah. And I think it's, let's not forget too, that the word representative, you're there, you're hired by, essentially directly by the people that vote for you in your 3rd district, okay? But you're really hired by the state.
Right.
And it's got to be more than what you can just accommodate with other legislators over there to get something passed. It's got to be effective for those you represent.
Yes.
And
Yes.
not special interest groups, because there are special interest groups, as you know, on all sides. But we've got to start treating the criminal as a criminal. And yes, get them the help. Maybe it's not just prison as we've all known it in the past, but there's some directive programs. And if they don't settle up and follow through, then I'm sorry, you're going to be locked up for a while, okay? Because my daughters, my granddaughters deserve protection.
And that's what I keep
Okay.
hearing
Yeah.
from residents all across our city. Certainly, folks want fairness, they want compassion, but
Right.
they expect safe conditions in our city. And that's something that leaders should do everything in their power to create.
Well, it comes down to our justice system, which means justice for those that are abused in our society by the criminals and so forth. And it's both sides. Yes, the criminal, let's do what we can for him or her and so forth, but let's also protect the rest of us. And I think we've shifted so far to the what I will call the left, where we worry about putting people in prison for too long and all of that. And yet I worry about my granddaughters out there, my grandsons out there, and all the people that we're talking to today. I remember having a conversation with Jeff Holey, who was a former police officer here in town and is now a state senator. And when I first started working with him 6 years, I think it was ago, or 8 now, he kept talking about, well, we need safe streets. Yeah, we need safe streets, but we also need safe neighborhoods, because that's where the people that will vote for you, Jeff, live in neighborhoods. The safe streets thing has kind of come back a bit, though, given what's going on in downtown Spokane and so forth. But we really want to live where we feel safe, where we don't have to lock the front door all day when our kids are playing and so on. And that's going to take some work, because we've been going the opposite direction.
It is going to take some work, and what I know is that I'm not doing this alone. There are a number of folks that are running for positions like mine across our state. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of them. I know that they are very much in alignment with the belief that we need safety, tax relief, creating a business-friendly environment throughout our state. That's very important. That goes back to, honestly, good customer service again. But so I will not be doing it alone. No person can. There will be a group of us. We're going to work as a team, and we're going to bring some common sense back to the state legislature.
Good.
That's so important. And we're going to partner and respect our law enforcement. We're going to partner and respect our business leaders and our community leaders. And, it's interesting because somebody said to me, oh, you went from music to politics. That's so different. Well, actually, music is about impact and politics is about impact.
Yes.
But also two fundamentals, communication.
Yes.
And so, as a musician, I have connected with people from all kinds of beliefs and backgrounds.
Sure you
I'm
have,
fascinated by people who have different views than me. I'm not scared of those views. And I think I have a very good attitude in life. And it helps me to connect with people. It helps me to communicate with people who may not see it like I do. But one thing that can't be denied is what I am hearing over and over again from the folks who are in my district, which is most of the city of Spokane. And they are aligning with what I have to say, which is that we need common sense safety, we need tax relief, we need a business-friendly environment in our state. And
this business community has, as you know, in the past stepped up. It stepped up for Expo 74. At the time, the smallest little city to ever host an exposition like that, okay? And tax themselves to do it, okay? Because they knew that was the best for the community. They're doing the same thing now with the problems on the streets and so forth. But you've got a city council and others at the state level that, that's our business. Well, they're not doing their business, And so we all need to work together.
We need to work together, but we need common sense as well. And I simply don't understand folks who are in positions of leadership who wouldn't want to do everything they can to help businesses. But I'll say, too, the businesses in our state have been through hell. Through COVID and all the lockdowns that were so unfair, so unnecessary. I want to be very clear that I do not support those lockdowns. I never did. What the damage that did is we haven't even seen the full effects of it probably, and that includes on our schools. But there were states that didn't go that route, and they were, accused of all kinds of things, but
Yeah,
the sky never fell. So, this didn't need to happen. And so I can't go back and change that. But what I can do, hopefully, and I plan to do it, is be a part of the healing process for our businesses. And so we have a great future ahead. I think Spokane can be a model city in America. I truly believe that. And I think that, our state has so much potential. We certainly have some enhancements to make, whether it's safety, whether it's tax relief, whether it's, doing what we can to enact policies that help businesses. I believe that we can accomplish those things, and we're going to have a great future.
Spokane just got some new energy the last month and a half. Bloomsday, Lilac Parade back. 3-on-3 basketball, the world's largest with Hoop Fest this last weekend.
Yes.
I'm hearing some positive things.
Well, it is so...
Yes.
It is so
and
nice.
Sunshine too.
Yes, but you know what? It is so nice to see people happy.
Yes.
That's what I love, to go out, and I walked through Hoop Fest on Sunday, and so many happy people, so many people enjoying their lives.
Again.
And that's whatever I can do in this role to facilitate that kind of an environment, that kind of a lifestyle in our city, and really in cities all across our state. I want to be a part of that, and it would be an honor. So
yeah, well, I support you.
Thank you.
You're going to be one of our best representatives
Thank
for
you
this
so
area.
much.
You'll bring some new life and energy to it. I expect to see you singing on our Capitol steps, and all that. Because you often work in the small venues around town, of the effect, when you were talking about the effect on small business and so forth. I experienced it when we were out talking to business folks we did a campaign called We're Open, to even if it meant coming by and picking up something and so forth. And I'll tell you, there was not a business man or woman owner that didn't have wet eyes, tears in their eyes when they said how it was affecting their employees for not being able to work and all of that. And often I heard, Kent, I have such great employees, and look what it's doing to them. Their family. I know when their spouses' birthdays are. I know the names of their children and all of that.
And it didn't need to happen.
No,
and we have examples of states that didn't go that route. They let people keep their freedoms.
Exactly.
And it didn't need to happen. It's been proven. It's been shown. Everybody knows it now. And that's a shame. But we also need people who are in positions of leadership who are going to be willing to be voices, strong voices. And I would never support such a thing. So
good. Scotty Nicol, congratulations on
Thank
stepping
you.
up.
Thank you.
It's a real responsibility, as you're finding
Yes.
out. I know you're enjoying doing the door knocking, the doorbelling, and so forth, because you get to meet people and pick up some good ideas and really hear what the problems are. Because you can get other politicians talking about what the problems are, and it's their agenda and so forth.
Right.
But now you hear what you want to represent,
Right.
which are the people out there.
That's right.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You'll come back again?
Absolutely.
All right. Scotty Nicol, 3rd Legislative District. He'll be on the ballot
August 2nd.
August 2nd coming up. My gosh, that's just around the corner, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah. Thanks, Scotty.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
name's Megan France. I'm here with Business Talks, and today I'll be talking with Kate Hudson about Visit Spokane and the events that are going on in July.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm here
Yeah.
every month, and we always talk about all the cool things going on in the city. And we have some fun stuff going on. Just wrapped up the 4th of July, and now we are heading into the long dog days of summer. And we'll start with Hadestown. What better way to get out of the heat than with a Broadway show?
Yeah.
Started July 5th, runs through the 10th. Tickets are still available. And of course, this is a newer Broadway show, and it's kind of wraps two mythic tales. It's a love story, so the music's great. And judging from the people who went to the show last night, sounds like it was fantastic. So
That's awesome.
highly recommend it. Go check it out.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then the Spokane Comedy Club, of course, bringing it every
Yes.
week. They have some amazing comedian. And this weekend they have Margaret Cho, July 7th through the 9th. She has been around forever. She's an actress, a comedian, obviously, and a producer, writer. She's done everything. And she's been a 5-time Grammy and Emmy nominee.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
hilarious, and she will be taking the stage here in Spokane just the July 7th through the 9th.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And then I also threw in the 2022 Lavender Festival. I thought that sounded fun. And this is at the Evening Light Lavender Farm, which is just north of Spokane. So if you want to take the family for a fun day outside, pick some lavender, eat some lavender ice cream. During COVID, I got really into making simple syrups.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I harvested the lavender in my backyard and boiled it down into a simple syrup to make cocktails. Highly recommend doing that. A lot of time on my hand during the lockdown. So you can go to the Lavender Festival. It is July 9th through the 10th at Evening Light Lavender Farm.
Cool.
Yeah.
That
Did you
sounds awesome.
get into any weird pandemic
Oh,
behaviors,
gosh.
like making simple syrups?
Honestly, I feel like I came close to that. I did a little baking, but like the the simple syrups, that's awesome.
You can make simple syrups out of everything. Rosemary, lavender, sage, anything you want.
I'll have to
Sky's the
try.
limit.
I'll have to try it.
Makes great craft cocktails. And then July 13th, we have Zach Bryant. He will be at the Pavilion. And this, of course, was scheduled for earlier in the summer, and it was canceled and rescheduled for July 13th. So he's from Oklahoma. He's only 25 years old. He is a huge country star now, and he will be taking the stage under the twinkling lights of the Pavilion. So if you have not been to a concert in the Pavilion, I highly recommend it. It's a real experience. And I know some of the musicians that have played there last summer said it was one of the greatest venues they've ever played.
Oh my gosh, I'm not even surprised by that at all.
I'm not either. The Pavilion is fantastic. And
Yeah.
seeing it being used for Hoop Fest, which they designed the Pavilion with Hoop Fest in mind, the center court, and to see it finally getting used for the first time since it opened in 2019, it's just been so fun to watch.
Yeah, what a beautiful part of Spokane.
I
I
know.
always run by the Pavilion and just take in the beauty. It's
I
awesome.
know. It's lovely. We're very lucky here.
Mm-hmm.
If you love food, high-end food, and exploring different tastes, Crave is this month. July 14th through the 16th, Center Place Regional Event Center in Spokane Valley is the location, and it's a 3-day food festival. It's all local chefs, but it's also chefs from all over the world that they bring in. And it's 3 days of small bites and exploring different tastes, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Wow.
Can't go wrong. Tickets are on sale now. There's a Thursday event, or a Friday event. No, a Thursday event, a Friday event, and a Saturday event. So
Okay.
I think the Saturday event is barbecue. And then Friday is tastes from around the world. I'll be going to the Friday event. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be fun. But of course, we'll have our local chefs like Chad White, Adam Hegsted, all the usual suspects, Travis Dickinson, all of our amazing and brilliant chefs will be cooking up delicious things for everyone to eat. So go and buy tickets. It's fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah. We also have the Havit Brothers, July 15th at Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Their big outdoor concert series is in full effect, and they'll be gracing the stage outside. So highly recommend that one as
Yeah.
well. They always have such an amazing concert lineup at Northern Quest. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the Abbott brothers. So good.
I know,
good.
I love them, but they have all different kinds of music genres, from rap to country to folk and indie, whatever you can imagine. It's out there, and they always have a great lineup. And that venue is fantastic as well. You can make a whole night of it and rent a hotel room and stay the night, and then you don't have to worry about driving home.
Yeah,
It's great.
exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then July 21st, I threw this on for anyone who loves the television show The Masked Singer. The Masked Singer Live is coming to Spokane at the First Interstate Center for the Arts. So it'll feature celebrity guests to be decided. Nobody knows who they are.
Oh my
So you get to decide when you're there, you get to guess. And yeah.
That's awesome.
My kids like watching that show, so I threw this in there for them.
Yeah.
And also for you.
That's
So
awesome.
That's
Oh
what I
my
have
gosh.
for July. Lots of stuff. Of course, there is a ton more going on. Visit Spokane.com. Just click on the events tab, and you will find everything you could possibly imagine.
Sweet.
And you can parse it out by free events, events you want to spend a ton of money on, concerts, whatever. But yeah, lots going on in Spokane this summer, including the free carriage rides downtown. Those are back, thanks to Wheatland Bank. So yeah, lots of fun going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
Well, I'm excited for July. I'll be here in Spokane. So
I know.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Summers in Spokane are my absolute
Yes.
favorite.
Yes.
Spokane wears summer well,
Yes.
even though it
It truly
rains a
does.
little bit
Yeah.
more than I would prefer so far this year. We're doing good. But yeah, that's what I have for you. And our website has tons of other options.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all that info.
You're welcome.
So important. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Thank you guys. This is Business Talks with Kate Hudson, and we'll see you next time.
Starting a digging project? Before you reach for the shovel, you must click callbeforeyoudig.org, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. Protect our buried utilities and click callbeforeyoudig.org.
The world has changed a lot in 50 years, and Kimley Haygood has changed with it. We still provide our customers with the highest level of service, whether it's financing, construction management, property management and maintenance, leasing, or sales. Our team is here to help you make the best decisions with your real estate.
Thank you so much for joining the Pulse of Spokane. Watch every Friday for a new edition. I'm Connor Kotzman, your host. Have a great day.
An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world? That's the new thing. It isn't a tagline, it's a philosophy wrapped in red and white. It is Eastern Washington and you.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.